So guys, before we get started, don't forget we do have that amazing discount code thanks to Tier 0 Games going on right now. And all you have to do is put in ZWGames5 to get 5% discount on your total order at tier0games.com. The links will be in the description below. What's up YouTube, Dad here from Zephyr Games, bringing you a Dark Magician Ritual deck. Now this is a little bit different from the Fusion and Dark Magician Girl builds that I've shown you in the past, and with this deck it has an incredibly powerful core Azathoth. Is a 2800 beta that doesn't even need to tribute himself, doesn't even need to be ritual summoned to use his effect. As long as he has been successfully ritual summoned, his effect can trigger anytime he is special summoned. And that is insane. Being able to drop it during your opponent's turn as well, just be able to go, okay, cool, tribute, you can't use monster effects. Gives you an incredibly powerful first turn play, which completely shuts your opponent down, then allows you to continue to build your board, and off you go. Before we get started, please smash the like button, hit the notification bell and subscribe so you do not miss out on any more Yu-Gi-Oh profiles, news, videos, the whole 9 yards. With that out of the way, let's get on to today's profile of Dark Magician Ritual. Now this is a little bit different ratios than I usually play in my Dark Magician builds, purely because I'm not going all out on a ritual, because then it's not really Dark Magician, it's more incantations with Chaos Maxes. Whereas this build has got the balance between normal Dark Magician plays and the rituals to back it up. Now you play 3 different rituals in this deck. One is incredibly aggressive and will get you the win. One is incredibly defensive and will get you the win. And the other one actually helps enhance the Dark Magician deck itself. With that said and done, I'm going to take you through the profile and show you exactly what we've got. So you play triple Dark Magician. Any art you wish is completely acceptable. I love the OG art, but this artwork is my close second. Also the anniversary art is so good and nice as well, but that does stay in a binder. And then got triple Magician's Rod. Now, of course, alongside actually getting the core cards of the deck you need, like your circles, your navigations, your Eternal Souls, this also searches you out Chaos Form, which is one of your ritual spells, and can search you out the quick play, so you can either decide to go, oh, I'm going to ritual during my opponent's turn, or I'm going to fusion and get my plays going that way. We've then got double Apprentice. Now Apprentice in this build is a route to get to Dark Magician, because the quick play spell card, Secrets of Dark Magic, requires Dark Magician. You have to use Dark Magician for the fusion or for the ritual, or Dark Magician Girl. Now we're not playing Dark Magician Girl in this build because it's not required. That's where the ritual monsters come into it, and I'll also show you a very, very spicy tech card that I play in the deck as well that's very, very helpful. So Apprentice is going to be there to get your Dark Magician. If you already have your Dark Magician, I advise holding on to your Apprentice Illusion as a 2k attack boost hand trap, because that can really, really shut your opponent down as well. We've then got the triple Magician Souls. Now you can, as I've shown you in the past, take this out for fusion redeployment. The fusion redeployment doesn't really hurt the deck itself, because you're not relying on going through your extra deck massively. However, the Souls can be very, very good, because what makes Souls a little bit better in this one is you bring it back. As long as you've got the Dark Magician, this easily makes the level 1 fodder that is needed for the Magician of Black Chaos Max. On top of that, it also allows you to drop dead ritual spells or just general ritual spells to the graveyard, which can then be added back with Preparation of Rites. So you get to go, cool, ditch, draw, activate Preparation of Rites, search out my level 7, and add back the spell card that I've just got rid of for Magician Souls. So in this version, Souls is a lot more required than the other versions. However, if you are on a tight budget and you do not want to be dropping $100 or whatever the crazy price is of this card for it, you can easily play Fusion Redeployment, and you'd have to change your strategy up a bit more that way. So I'd probably take these out for redeployment, and then you'd probably put in the incantations or something to make the ritual plays a little bit more consistent. We then move on to the ritual engines. We do have double Magician of Chaos. Now this card would have been so much better if his pop effect was if, but it's not, it's a when. So you've got to be very, very careful on this so it does not miss timing. However, the best thing about this card is you ritual summon this card with Chaos Form. You can use any other ritual spell because it says you can. This card's name becomes Dark Magician while on the field or in the graveyard. So you can loop it with Eternal Soul. It basically just gives you an effect monster Dark Magician that you can bring back from the graveyard, which is very, very nice. Once per turn, when a spell or trap or effect is activated, quick effect, you target one card on the field and destroy it. If this ritual summon card is destroyed by battle or card effect, you special summon one Chaos or Black Luster ritual monster from your hand except himself, ignoring its summoning conditions. Now, would have been broken if it was from deck. And I think it should have been from deck, because the only Chaos monsters you're going to bring out is going to be Blue Eyes Chaos Max or Magician of Black Chaos. Either way, bringing them to the board, by the time this card's been destroyed by battle, if it's destroyed by card effect, you bring out the Chaos Magician of Chaos Max, because then you tribute him off, your opponent's locked down. You're not going to bring out your Blue Eyes Chaos Max because you don't want to get stolen unless you're going second. So it helps unbrick the hand. I just feel that the effect could have been so much better. Regardless, it is a Dark Magician that you continue loop. The artwork is insanely beautiful. It is a level 7 and it is a dark. So there's a lot of synergy that works with the deck. I would have liked this card to have this card's effect. So this Magician of Black Chaos Max, absolutely busted. If this was a level 7, I don't even care. If it says must use Dark Magician as ritual monster, would have been broken. So good. So you ritual summon this card with Chaos Form. So you can use Chaos Form, you can use Secret of Dark Magic as well. If this card is special summoned, you can tribute one monster your opponent... you can tribute one monster. Your opponent cannot activate monster effects this turn. When this card is destroys an opponent's monster by battle, target one spell card in your graveyard, add it to your hand. Gives you recyclability. Can tribute himself if you want it to, but can also tribute any monster. Allows you to activate his effect when he is special summoned. So, if you wanted to, you could play stuff like Back to the Front, Call of the Haunted, any form of revival trap. Then what you can do is you can make him, ritual summon him correctly, tribute him off, shut your opponent down for a turn. Then, go during your turn, if you're worried about hand traps or ashes or Nibiru's or anything like that, activate Back to the Front, bring him back, tribute him, your opponent can't use monster effects during your turn. You go, excellent, off I go, and hopefully win the door from there. If not, as long as he stays in the graveyard, if your opponent wants to call by the graveyard, fine, that's one of the biggest weaknesses. But if you're able to loop him from the graveyard during your opponent's turn, you technically stop them playing Yu-Gi-Oh! For like 2 turns, and 2 turns is all you need in Dark Magician. It does need a turn to set up. This isn't the best version for going second because it does require to break boards. And right now, when you're looking at boards like Adamanticators with like 3 or 4 negates, and then the Eldritch with is going to have their Omni negates, plus their draws, plus VFD, all of that shenanigans, you're going to struggle. But that's where your side deck comes in. This is all about going first, making Magician of Black Chaos Max, dodging a Nibiru. You shouldn't need 5 summons to make him. If he tributes himself, going first during your opponent's turn, unless they've got a Call by the Grave. If they do have a Call by the Grave, as long as you tribute another monster that isn't himself, his effect will go off. And that is why we play Skill Drain in the deck, because he can tribute himself, and not only are you shutting off your opponent's field, but you also shut off the rest of their monster effects. Like, crazy. Artwork, stunning as well. Like, beautiful. We then play the spicy. So we play 1 Cosmo Queen and 1 Blue Eyes Chaos Max Dragon. Now, Chaos Max Dragon, because it is an offensive tribute that can come off of your Magician of Chaos Max, but also because we have a level 8 Dark Spellcaster in the main deck that is a vanilla, you can make these guys using Advanced Ritual Art. Now, you're only going to want to make this guy during your turn, ideally, but you can also use Advanced Ritual Art to make this guy as well. The idea is you play Advanced Ritual Art, you send Cosmo Queen, you make your Blue Eyes Chaos Max, and you go, come at me, bro. Chaos Max gives you pretty much a win. Like, if your opponent puts anything in defense, it's like, oh, I don't know what he's playing, let's play defensively. Or, oh, it's a bit of a grind game, let's play defensively. And you just go, Chaos Max, what are you going to do? Now, it's a bit more damaging during this period because, you know, opponent steals it, game over. There are cards that can steal it non-target, and there's cards that send it. But the idea is when you bring out your Blue Eyes Chaos Max, you're going for game. That is as simple as that. We then played Double Manju. Now, there was 2 spaces in the deck. Now, those 2 spaces either went for a Pot of Duality, because you don't really want to special summon during your turn so much. You really want to get to your Magician of Black Chaos Max as early as possible, drop that on your opponent turn 1, then build your plays from turn 2s. These can also be revival traps, like I said, so that once you've made the Chaos Max, you can bring him back and start shutting your opponent down even more so. It really depends on how far or what the meta is or what you're facing, and whether you think you're going to need the grind factor, revival traps, whether you think you're going to need the consistency, duality, or whether you feel that you're going to be able to get past or bait out ashes without a worry and go with Manju. That is the biggest weakness, is he is a light, he is a fairy, and he will be the biggest ash target alongside clashing with Rod. Like if you open up this and Rod, I guarantee you 99.99999% of the time you're gonna go with Rod, unless you go, okay, I've got the ritual monster, I've got the ritual monster, I've got the fodder, I need the ritual spell. Or you've got the ritual spell, you've got the fodder, you need the monster. That's where Manju comes in. And the only reason you focus on Manju, or Manju is important, is because he's your only direct route to get to your Magician of Black Chaos Max. And that's what you want to go for as early as possible, is you do need to get to him, and why Manju is so important for that route. Moving on to the spells, standard for a Dark Magician deck, triple Dark Magical Circle, triple Soul Servant. Now, the issue with this, or this build particularly, is you're only going to be getting one draw off of this, because you're only playing Dark Magician. So the issue with that is, if you wanted to, you could put an Oracle Mahad in here, you could put a Palladium Mana, and you could also put a Dark Magician Girl, but it kind of takes away from the ritual aspect of the deck. Now, the reason you play the Soul Servant regardless is because 9 times out of 10, you're going to be putting your Dark Magician in the grave for the ritual summons. You're going to have the fodder there to get the one draw off. On top of that, you do want to stack your deck with any card that lists Dark Magician. So it gives you another route to search out the level 7 ritual. It also gives you other routes to build your board around it, get into the ritual spells, and it just adds a bit of consistency to it. If you want to put in Dark Magician Girl and you want to put in any of the Oracles on the Mahads, by all means you can do. You can also replace these for Pot of Extravagance as well, just to add to consistency. But for the draw factor of the deck, we do play triple Servant, triple Allure. Everything is dark, including your Blue Eyes Chaos Max, so if it ever becomes a dead card, you get rid of it. It also gets rid of Cosmo Queen, because you don't really want to see Cosmo Queen in your hand. If you wanted to take out the Manjus, you also have Fashudas you can play to increase the consistency of the Allure of Darkness as well. We've then got double Secrets of Dark Magic. Now in this build, this is your most direct route to get to the fusion summons, but it's also a very, very direct route to get to your ritual monster. This is the only route that you have to drop the ritual monster on your opponent. And there's no better feeling than getting this, even if you excavate it, even if your opponent knows you have this, but don't know you've got that Magician of Black Chaos Max in hand. Set this, trigger it, that's it. Their turn is done. And I guarantee you, no one, apart from Dark Magician players themselves, are going to know or expect that Magician of Black Chaos Max. So that when he drops on the field, your opponent's going to go, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? And go from there. And it's really, really going to shut them down. And there's very little side deck options that you can kind of actually deal with. Now, if he chooses to tribute himself, let me just double check, I believe he tributes as cost. Yeah, so you tribute one monster's cost. So, if you are worried about an Imperm, an Effect Veiler, anything like that, you trigger himself, get rid of himself. And then your opponent's Veiler, your Imperms, they all go dead. Because it's a trigger effect when he is special summoned. So you go, special summon, effect. If you choose to tribute something else, you're going to leave yourself open for an Imperm or a Veiler. If you choose to tribute himself, you're leaving yourself open for a Call by the Great. So it really depends on which evil you think your opponent's going to open up in their hand. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean you need to shotgun this straight away. If you leave it and let your opponent normal summon a monster, you go, cool, now I'm going to activate it, they can't Imperm you. And it doesn't mean you have to get rid of him either. So you can actually play around that out too. There's very few outs that people are going to be putting in. Like they put in Lightning Storm, you go, alright, chain, make him. They put in Imperms, just told you how to get past that. They put in Ghost Mourner and Moonlit Chill. Again, easy ways to get around that because he is a trigger effect. If you get rid of himself, you dodge those effects that need to target him. It gives you a lot of versatility, and there's no one, and I mean absolutely no one, that I can think of that can play around a full-on Azathoth during their turn. Adamant's Pez, they can't build their board. Eldritch, can't use Golden Lord, can't extend the board. Can't get Golden Lord onto the board to extend their board. Can't do their synchro combos. Salamangrates can't build their combos to even go into the OTK potential, and they can't build the combos just to sit on their traps either. Incredibly powerful card, not to be underestimated. True Advanced Ritual Art, you're only really going to want to use this to bring out either your Blue Eyes Chaos Max or bring out your Magician of Chaos. Now, you play it free because getting the Dark Magicians to the graveyard isn't the end of the world. It's kind of okay. put him to the graveyard. You can then back off of this one with your Chaos form. I only play it at 1, and you can banish the Dark Magician alongside other cards in order to get your Magician of Chaos Max out. Don't have to, but it does give you an option to get there. Advanced Ritual Art could arguably be put down to 2, but the reason I've kept it at 3 is because with Magician's Souls. So if you wanted to take the Magician's Souls out, this is where you can take out one of the Advanced Ritual Arts, because the way I see this is if I use my Magician's Soul to send one of these and I don't have the Ritual Monster in hand, I send this to the graveyard, and as long as I can get to my Preparation of Rites, I then get to add the level 7 and then add back the Ritual spell, and straight away I can drop him onto the board. If I've got a circle, he treats himself as Dark Magician, I means I'm popping 2 cards. So it gives you a lot more interruption. It also means if you trigger an Eternal Soul, if you trigger a circle during your opponent's turn, you're going to get 2 pops as well. So 1 banish, 1 pop. Very, very good, very, very consistent, and very, very powerful. The last spell we play is the Magicalized Fusion. Send this off of Verti Anaconda. You're now going to have more spellcasters. The only issue is your Magician of Chaos counts as Dark Magician. So I don't believe it counts as an additional spellcaster name. But it still gives you a way to get into Quintet if you want to. Then onto the traps, we've got double Eternal Soul. You can put this at 3 if you want to, purely because you can bring back your Ritual Monster as well, as long as he's been successfully summoned. And then, like I said, that's going to give you 2 pops if you've got Circle, or 2 interruptions if you've got Circle. We've then got the 1 Navigation. Now, the Navigation is one of the first ones you'll want to send off of Eternal Soul, because then it gives you a negation in the graveyard, especially if you've got the Ritual Monster on board. And the only target you can bring from the deck would be Dark Magician or your Apprentice Illusion. So Apprentice is probably 9 times out of 10 going to be the one you're going to bring. You don't really want to be special summoning the Rod from deck. And then that's going to get you to search the Dark Magician. So the reliance on this card isn't as heavy. And it certainly sucks when you activate this and it gets ashed, because then they go, right, well I know you've got a Dark Magician in hand, and this is now a dead card. So very, very like mixed feelings of Navigation right now. If you put in more like Dark Magician Girl, put in other spellcasters that are going to help extend your plays, then by all means, put more of that in here. And then the skill drain. So the Blue Eyes Chaos Max, not Blue Eyes Chaos Max, sorry, the Magician of Black Chaos Max can dodge skill drain as long as he tributes himself. So it kind of works out like totally awesome from my understanding. If I'm wrong, I do apologise. But from my understanding is as long as he tributes himself, he can then resolve Engrave. So he's unaffected by the skill drain kind of restrictions, because it doesn't say you can't activate, it just says it negates the effect. So he triggers to activate, tributing himself as cost, and because he's tributed as cost, he can then resolve in the graveyard. If I'm wrong, a little bit different, but skill drain is still an amazing shutdown card, because then what you can do is you can rely on resolving your vanilla Dark Magicians, and again, your opponent can't play the game. I mean, Eldritch can just ditch and get rid of it, but regardless of that, Adamant's Payers, the Synchro Engine of the Eldritch deck, and of course Salamangreat are going to seriously struggle. Moving on to the extra deck. Now the extra deck is a little bit free. You don't have to run any of these cards in particular. I'll tell you the cards that I feel that you should run, but after that the extra deck is so free you can put whatever you want in it. So you've got the 1 Dark Magician, the Dragon Knight. Now, we don't play Eye of Tomai, so the only way you make this in the main deck is you have to link into Unduk, or you have to use your Blue Eyes Chaos Max on board to make him. Now, if you wanted to make him more consistently, that's where the fusion build of this deck comes into play. Like I said, I've kind of moved back from this just to show you the ritual options that you have. We then play the 1 Quintet, your big boss monster. You know, you've got your Cosmo Queen, you've got your Apprentice, you've got your Rod, and then you've got your Dark Magician. So you're building up your graveyard ready to go, and then if you put any of your other spellcasters in there, like your Wee Witch Magician, you're going to get your 5 monsters to nuke the board and make him an incredibly powerful towers. We've then got double the Dark Magicians. You can pretty much make this with anything. Again, you've only got 2 fusion spells, so you can use the Magicalized Fusion to make this card, if you want to, which is a nice one that you can use for Verti Anaconda. Verti Anaconda, send Magicalized Fusion for 2,000 life points, make this, and then if you're able to back this up with your Ritual Monster, Magician of Black Chaos Max, you can, quick effect, Magician of Black Chaos Max, get rid of him, or bring him onto the board, get a draw off of the Dark Magicians, Magician of Black Chaos Max, contribute the Verti Anaconda, shotting your opponent out of monster effects, and then whatever you've drawn off of this can either help you extend or set up for next turn. You then get into your next turn, your board is already sitting on a 2800 the Dark Magicians, a 2800 Magician of Black Chaos Max, and you'll have a Dark Magician somewhere in the graveyard or on field, because by the time you've made this, they're going to be somewhere. You then get to bring it back, move your plays further forward that way, and possibly OTK from there. On to the XYZs, we only play 2 of these. So we've got the one Red Eyes Flare, just for those late game burn them out plays, and the Bon Illusion. You can play Big Eye, entirely up to you on which one you want to play. These are a little bit more consistent because you do have the Ritual Monster as well. So use Ritual Monster and your normal Dark Magician. Overlay, boom, one of those two easily done. Then moving on to the links, of course, we've got the one Link Spider alongside the one Umdut. Now, Umdut is another route, or one of your main routes to get into the Dark Magician Dragon Knight. Like I said, if you want to make him more consistent, or you want to make your Fusion Engine more consistent, you can put in Eye of Timaeus. So these are the 2 cards that basically what you do is you use your Dark Magicians to go into either one of these, and then you can bring them back from the graveyard. You've got Link Spider for the arrow pointing down, and then you've got the Umdut just as that dragon fodder. So. Then for your Link 2s, you've got the Wee Witch Apprentice. Everything is dark, even Blue Eyes Chaos Max. So give Blue Eyes Chaos Max an extra 500 attack. You go, cool, piercing at pretty much 9k. Just gives you that extra edge. Extra edge. The one Predaplant, Verte, Anaconda. And because we're not playing Extravagance in here, you can mess around. You can control your extra deck a lot more. If you do put Extravagance in here, I would honestly drop down all of the cards you do not rely on. And then bump everything else up to freeze. IP Masquerena, because it's a free monster. As long as you don't use any Link monsters, you make IP Masquerena. IP Masquerena can then pretty much provide you with 2 forms of disruption on your opponent's turn. Well, actually 3. So IP can go into Nightmare Unicorn, discard and spin. Or, one of my best plays that I like making with IP is Blackluster Soldier, Soldier of Chaos. So you use IP plus a Dark Magician that you've maybe brought back from the graveyard, or that you are going to bring back from the graveyard with an Eternal Soul, and one other monster. This card then can't be destroyed by battle, can't be destroyed by card effects, can't be destroyed by card effects, can't be targeted. He then can banish 1 card on the field when he battles, or add 15k to his attack. It's insane. Like, this card can just stack and stack and stack, and he is technically your big bad-ass boss monster in the deck. If you can't get into Blackluster Soldier, because he does require 3 monsters with different names, you can go into your Mech Knight Crusader Avramax. Now, he does require 2 monsters special summon from the extra deck, but straight away, Nightmare Unicorn plus Link Spider or Umdut that you've made using him. Easy as that. And then you go straight into your Avramax, boom, you've got a 3k insanely powerful monster. That being said, your other best option is your Access Code Talker, because it just requires 2 effect monsters. So as long as you go Unicorn, spin 1 card back. Now just imagine, Unicorn, spin 1 back, set up a Dark Magician in graveyard for Eternal Soul, plus my Magician of Chaos on the board is going to pop a card because I'm going to use the spell of Circle. It's going to banish a card. So I've got 3 forms of interruption. A spin back, a destruction, and a banish. And I'm setting myself up for future plays as well. Really, really good, really, really powerful. And then you move into Access Code Talker. So Access Code Talker, by the time you've made pretty much the standard Link play, you could have an Earth in graveyard, you could have a Dark in graveyard, and you could even have a Light in graveyard for Umdut. So you've got 3 different materials that this big boss monster is going to come down on. Now, if you've used him making Unicorn, which 9 times out of 10 is probably what you're going to make, he's going to become a 4500 beater. He's going to have 3 different attributes in the graveyard, including maybe Unicorn, to banish and pop, and he's just going to swing in for game. Like, absolute insane boss monster. You can swap him out for Appaloosa if you want to be a bit more defensive. You can pretty much put any cards in your extra deck whatsoever. Nothing here, in my opinion, is an absolute staple except these 2 here. I honestly think IP is just such a good defensive play. And then at least ones of the fusions. There you go. And Verte Anaconda. So I'd probably say these are your staple cards that should be in pretty much all of your Dark Magician decks, unless you're like, I really don't like fusions, I'm going to take all my fusions out completely. I still think these are pretty much your staple cards. Some people argue about Wee Witch. I really, really like it, but if you're like, don't want to play it, fine. These are the base minimums that I reckon you should play. The other 10 cards, you build and adapt to whatever you see fit. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is it. That is Dark Magician Ritual. That is, I'm going to Azathoth you with a Magician of Black Chaos Max. I'm then going to use my Magician of Chaos to pop a card alongside my Banish from Circle as well. And because he counts as Dark Magician, I'm going to recycle him from the graveyard. How do you think about that? So, that is it. Dark Magician Ritual, something a little bit different, something a little bit spicy, and a very, very powerful version of Dark Magicians themselves as well. I hope you like this, hope you enjoyed it, hope it gave you a different option on your own deck. Use it as a structure, adapt it as you see fit, make it whatever you need it to be, add in different cards, take out cards. If you want, like I said, to focus on the rituals a little bit more, that is where the incantations come into play, because then you can use the incantations as additional fodder. Some of them are also dark, so they're good as a lore fodder, and they're also spellcasters as well, or some of them are spellcasters, so you can use and abuse them. You can even put a BLS in there because there's lights and darks as well, and you combo that off with your main deck of Manju. So easy as that. Anyway, like I said, thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, share, and as always, guys, happy dueling.
Your